Here we go! The episode begins with Bastard King and Heavyset Guy keeping watch at the wall. Bastard King is telling Heavyset Guy about Savage Lady, and Heavyset Guy is asking him about sex. Heavyset Guy still hasn't had sex, but he says that if his wife ever offers to have sex with him, he'll do it. Bastard King says he shouldn't break his vows to the Night's Watch, and Heavyset Guy says that the vows only say you can't have a wife or a child, nothing specifically about the act of having sex. I went to Sunday school as a teenager, and Heavyset Guy sounds a lot like some of those kids that I went to church with. They always said, if you do stuff in the butt, it doesn't count as premarital sex, and therefore you're not actually upsetting God. Kids really thought that if you did butt stuff, you weren't having sex. And that's kind of like what Heavyset Guy is saying right now. Really, I just wanted to tell you about these crazy 15-year-olds who were doing stuff with each other's butts. Heavyset Guy still thinks that his wife is dead because in season 4, the town she was staying in got raided. Then an owl shows up, and you already know that's probably a wildling scoping out the wall. And sure enough, we cut to a Star Trek looking guy with his eyes rolled back in his head. He's sitting with Redbeard and the wildlings. Redbeard is bragging about having sex with a bear named Sheila? You know, just a normal fireside chat. Savage Lady is sharpening arrows and she is mad. She wants to kill all the crows. I have to imagine she's still angry about Bastard King leaving her after Jack Sparrow turned into a bird. There's a group of people here with crazy marks on their head, just like the Star Trek guy. I don't think that I've seen these people before, but I guess they're teaming up with the wildlings. This one dude's head looks like somebody put a hot iron on top of it. He thinks Savage Lady still loves Bastard King and won't kill him if she has the chance. Savage Lady says that she will kill Bastard King, and if anyone else tries to kill him, she'll kill them. So this big ol' fight is about to happen. Wait, what? Who is that? Some hooded figure just casually walked by that big army. Is that Heavyset Guy's wife? She's probably going to the wall to try to reunite with Heavyset Guy. Okay, so this big battle that's about to happen is ultimately what leads to Bastard King becoming the Lord Commander in season 5. Now we cut inside to Heavyset Guy reading a book. Not satisfied with Bastard King's sex talk, he's probably looking up a more detailed description of the carnal act. Then an old blind man, I think the guy who gives Bastard King his winning vote in season 5, walks in. He asks Heavyset Guy what he's reading, and Heavyset Guy tells him that he's reading about wildlings. Old blind man is as wise as he is blind. He knows that Heavyset Guy is in love with his wife, but Heavyset Guy denies it. Then old blind man says that he was in love once. Time for Heavyset Guy to ask this 90-year-old man what sex is like. Whoa! Old blind man says that he's a Targaryen and that he could have been king. So really, this guy is like Bastard King's grandpa or something. Old blind man talks about the girl that he used to love, and it's really nice. This guy rules. Why didn't this guy become king? He seems like a super sweet and nice, smart guy. If he was the king, we wouldn't have to deal with Jeffrey or Short-Haired Queen or any of this nonsense. We cut outside and Heavyset Guy's wife is trying to get inside. She's arguing with the gatekeeper, but then Heavyset Guy shows up and yells at him to open the gate. Heavyset Guy's wife is scared that she's gonna get kicked out of the wall because, just like my childhood bedroom, there's no girls allowed. Then a bunch of men start shouting to get ready for a fight, so Heavyset Guy and his wife run away. Then we see that owl again, and we cut to Star Trek Guy saying, "It's time." We cut to Bastard King looking out beyond the wall, and there's a forest fire. At least now we can all rest assured that Smokey Bear isn't just a warg in the wildlings. Although if he was, Redbeard would probably try to have sex with him and brag about it by the fire. Bastard King is pushing barrels of oil onto a catapult thing, and then he talks to Tiny Eyes. Tiny Eyes is like, "We should have sealed the tunnel like you said in episode 7. And Bastard King is like, "Yeah, well, I'll be your boss soon anyways." We cut to inside the castle, and Heavyset Guy is looking for a place to hide his wife. He puts her in a dark room and tries to leave, but she tells him he'll die if he fights. Heavyset Guy tells her that he has to be a man and help his Night's Watch brothers, and then he gives her a big smooch. Heavyset Guy has crazy confidence this episode. Earlier, he yelled at that gatekeeper guy, and now he's just launching into big kisses like he's Tom Brady with his son. We cut to the gatekeeper, and he's nervous as heck about the battle. Heavyset Guy tries to calm him down, and gatekeeper reveals that Heavyset Guy has killed a zombie guy. Did I know that? He must have done it using that dragon glass he finds in season 2. Okay, so it seems like Redbeard and his group are running a special covert mission or something, because they don't attack from the same direction as the huge army. What on earth? This army is crazy. There's giants and mammoths and giants riding on mammoths, and thousands of people. Tiny Eyes gives his soldiers orders, but it seems like they're all severely unprepared. Probably because this is how they train. Then we see Redbeard's group attacking a different part of the wall that is less protected. Chainmail Guy runs up to Tiny Eyes and tells him, and Tiny Eyes leaves and puts Chainmail Guy in charge. You idiot! Put Bastard King in charge! Now the fight has really begun. People are dying left and right, and Redbeard's group is climbing that unprotected gate. Tiny Eyes gives a rousing speech to his men, and then the wildlings bust through. As much as I hate Tiny Eyes, he seems like a pretty good soldier. He's killing a ton of people. Then we see Redbeard get over the gate. He starts killing people and Heavyset Guy and Gatekeeper run away. We go back to the top of the wall and Chainmail Guy has lost his mind. He clearly has no idea what he's doing, so Dumb Guy, doing something actually pretty smart, tells Chainmail Guy that Tiny Eyes needs him, so he leaves. Bastard King looks around and starts yelling orders. Wildlings start climbing the wall and Bastard King says that it'll take them all night to climb. And he should know because he climbed the wall in season 3 to make out with Savage Lady. We see Ironhead killing people and having the time of his life doing it. This guy just loves ending people's lives. There's more and more fighting and it looks like the Night's Watch is losing, but I already know they don't lose, so Bastard King must do something really heroic pretty soon. Speaking of heroic, we cut to Chainmail Guy running away from the battle. He goes into the same room as Heavyset Guy's wife. Listen, Chainmail Guy sucks, we all know this. But I'd be lying to you if I said that I wouldn't do the exact same thing that he's doing right now. I mean, look at this room. It looks so cozy and quiet, and there's a cute little baby in there. It's much better than going outside and getting your head chopped off. Then we see Heavyset Guy and the Gatekeeper. The Gatekeeper finally hits somebody with his crossbow, but then he gets shot in the neck by Savage Lady. Then we see these huge giants and their mammoths trying to pull the gate out of the wall. Meanwhile, nobody is even trying to shoot them or drop things on them. We cut up to Bastard King, and he's just having a nice little chat with Dumb Guy. Stop talking and drop some fire barrels on those giants. Bastard King tells Dumb Guy to guard the inner gate, for when the outer gate inevitably breaks down because Bastard King apparently isn't protecting it. Then we see Tiny Eyes fighting Redbeard. Unfortunately for Tiny Eyes, Redbeard slices him open and he falls down. But fortunately for Tiny Eyes, he falls onto a nice soft pile of hay. He gets dragged away to be taken care of, but we already know that he survives because he loses the election to Bastard King in season 5. Then we cut to Heavyset Guy still holding a very dead Gatekeeper in his arms. He drops him and runs towards the elevator. Ironhead sees him though and gets super close to killing him before Heavyset Guy shoots him point blank in the head with a crossbow. Heavyset Guy gets on the elevator and tells the little boy that stabs Bastard King in season 5 to get him to the top of the wall. I would feel bad for this kid if I didn't already know about him being such a big jerk. Heavyset Guy tells him to find a weapon and fight, and the boy finds a bow. And if I've learned anything from Anton Chekhov, that bow will be used before the end of the episode. We cut back out to the giants trying to tear open the gate, and finally they drop the fire barrels on them. And it works perfectly. Why did we wait so long to do that? This one giant sees his friend die and gets super mad, so he gets that crazy strength like when a mom lifts a car off her child. And he just lifts the gate open by himself. Meanwhile, Bastard King is just chilling up there on the wall. Heavyset Guy tells him that Tiny Eyes has fallen, so Bastard King tells his friend that if the mammoths come back to drop fire on them. Drop the fire right now! There's a giant just casually opening your gate. Now we cut downstairs to Dumb Guy with his little group. The giant gets inside and Dumb Guy rallies his men as the giant charges at them. Now that I've seen this episode, I don't think Dumb Guy is a very appropriate name for this character. Like in season 1, he seemed like a big idiot, but I guess over the last 4 seasons, he's become smarter and more brave or something. It probably doesn't matter because I think he's gonna die right now anyways. We cut to Bastard King and Heavyset Guy going down the elevator. Bastard King hands Heavyset Guy a key and says, "I need him more than I need you," and then goes out and starts killing dudes. What? First off, Bastard King, that was rude. Second, who is this him that you're referring to, and why did you give Heavyset Guy a key? I guess the only thing that makes sense is that Heavyset Guy's about to go get Bastard King's wolf out of his cage to help Bastard King fight. And I freaking nailed it. Heavyset Guy lets the wolf out. Maybe I do understand what's going on in this show. Until Green-Eyed Guy shows up again. Bastard King and his wolf are destroying people, but then Ironhead goes after Bastard King. I thought Heavyset Guy killed Ironhead. All these bald dudes look the same. They fight, and then Savage Lady catches a glimpse of Bastard King. Bastard King spits in Ironhead's face and then nails him in the head with a hammer. He walks away, and Savage Lady is there waiting for him with her bow. Bastard King smiles, and she hesitates. And then she gets hit with an arrow, shot by the little stabbing boy. Chekhov's gun strikes again. Bastard King runs up to her and holds her, and everything around them goes silent. Remember like 20 seconds ago when you couldn't even walk anywhere without getting into a fight? Well, apparently that isn't happening anymore. Savage Lady talks about a cave that they probably banged in, and then she dies. The battle has slowed down so much at this point that Bastard King can just hug Savage Lady's dead body and nobody bothers him. Dang. Did Bastard King actually love Savage Lady? I didn't think that he did, but now that I've seen how he reacted to her death, it seemed like he has real feelings for her. But honestly, good riddance, because Bastard King cannot have that kind of baggage when he goes to meet his new girlfriend, Aunt Legolas Queen. We cut back to the top of the wall, and they drop the scythe on the wall of climbers. Then the rest of the Wildling army runs away. We cut to Redbeard trying to fight 10 guys at once, but Bastard King shoots him and tells his men to lock him up. Then we cut to Heavyset Guy walk into his wife's hiding room, and Chainmail Guy is still in there. We immediately cut outside, and it's morning. Bastard King says that he's gonna go try to kill Mance Rayder, the man that he had a mysterious encounter with in a tent. Then, finally, Bastard King is like, "Oh yeah, I sent one of my close closest friends on a suicide mission. I should probably go check on him. And sure enough, he's dead. But him and his men also managed to kill the giant. Dumb Guy is a hero. Bastard King tells Heavyset Guy to open the gate, and then he gives Heavyset Guy his sword. What are you gonna kill Mance Rayder with now, dummy? The gate opens and Bastard King walks outside. And then the episode ends. That episode was like 75% fighting. And it seems like the next episode is also gonna be mostly fighting. Also, in season 5, I learned that Son of Fire shows up at some point and helps the Night's Watch beat the Wildlings. So maybe that also happens next episode. I think this is the first episode I've ever seen where everything takes place in one location, which was really cool, but also it made the episode super easy to follow along with. Overall, I liked this episode. I think I'll give it a 6 out of 10. Sometimes it's fun to not have to think so much and just watch people kill each other. Also, Old Blind Man was the best. I hope he becomes a big part of the show. Let's reach into these boxes and see which episode I'm gonna watch next. Season 2, Episode 7. Season 6, Episode 2. Season 5, Episode 4. Season 6 again, Episode 9. And last but not least, Season 3, Episode 2. So those are your options for which episode I'm gonna watch next. There should be a poll right here, like a little box that you can click on and vote for which episode I'm gonna watch. Here's a graphic to show you which episodes I've already seen to help you make your decision. Now you've just watched my video and you're probably thinking, dang, that was a good video. There's nothing that could ruin that video. And I'm here to tell you that there is, and it is these Patreon shoutouts I'm about to do for my Patreon supporters. So here it is. Oh, my voice cracked. Ryan O'Toole. Ryan is a really good friend of mine. He's a really funny stand-up comedian that lives in Los Angeles. So if you live in Los Angeles, go check him out. He hosts a show at the Clubhouse called Group Shower. Go check out his show. He's great. Ryan's a really good guy. Thank you for supporting me, Ryan. Damian Pedler. Well, Mr. Peddler, I'm glad that you're doing so well peddling that you can afford to support me on Patreon. That was terrible. I'm sorry. Thank you, Damian. Jennifer Henderson. Henderson, huh? Well, Jennifer, are you not someone's daughter? Shouldn't you be called Jennifer Hender's daughter? I'm blowing it. It's like 10:30 and I'm very tired, so please forgive me. Thank you though, Jennifer. We got Eric. Just Eric. My favorite Eric is probably Eric Andre, the comedian. He's great. I'm gonna assume that you're not Eric Andre, but you're probably just as great as him, Eric, so thank you so much for the support. Cassandra Bird. Cassandra Bird. Bird is a cool last name. All last names that are animals, that's awesome. Bird is like the most common one, but imagine if your last name was Dog. What if I was Steve Dog? That'd be sick. Anyways, thank you, Cassandra. Ryan Rook. Rook, that's a chess piece, right? So, Ryan, are you ever bummed that you can't move diagonally? Because rooks can only go up and sideways? You know it's a good joke when you have to explain it immediately afterwards. Thank you, Ryan. Jamie Armstrong. Armstrong? There's some people with that last name. Are you more of a Neil guy or a Lance guy? I'm personally more of a Neil guy myself because Lance got caught cheating, right? He did steroids when he was on that bike. So I'm more of a Neil Armstrong guy myself. Jamie, let me know what Armstrong you prefer. You know what, Jamie? I changed my mind. I'm a Jamie Armstrong person. You're my favorite Armstrong because you support me on Patreon. Thank you so much. If you want to support me on Patreon, there is a link in the description below, and I'm going to put a button at the end of the video that you can click on and you can check out my Patreon page. I post once a week or so on there, just giving general channel updates, letting people know how I'm doing. I talk to people on there. It might be worth it if you're really into this channel. You feel free to give me some money to help me out. Okay, bye.